we will be wrapping this course up with PowerPoint. Microsoft PowerPoint is a presentation software. You can show these presentations as slideshows on a computer monitor, project them onto a screen, share them over the internet, or publish them to the web. Alright, you can also create documents from the presentation by printing the slides, outlines, or speaker notes. PowerPoint is a powerful presentation graphic program that creates slides that contain text, charts, pictures, sound, movies, and so forth. When you create a blank presentation in PowerPoint, the presentation appears in normal view. Normal view displays slides one at a time in the slide pane and displays thumbnails of all the other slides in the Slides tab on the left. The slide pane shows how the text and graphics on the current slide will look during a slideshow. The Slides tab shows a column of numbered slide thumbnails. If the Notes button on the status bar is selected, the Notes pane appears below the slide pane. The Notes pane contains notes for the presenter to refer to when delivering the presentation. Alright, so start PowerPoint. If it's not on your desktop, you go to your Start button, All Programs, Microsoft Office, and open up PowerPoint. The screen will show the Backstage view. Click the Blank Presentation tile. A new blank presentation appears in the PowerPoint window. If the PowerPoint window is not maximized, maximize it so it's full screen. On the Quick Access toolbar, click the Save button. Because this is the first time this presentation has been saved, the Save As screen appears. Navigate to where you want to save it and name it Gourmet. Notice up here in your title bar that Gourmet is now the name of the PowerPoint. Alright. The first slide in a PowerPoint presentation is usually the title slide, which typically contains the title of the presentation, a subtitle if it's needed, often the presenter's name. The blank title slide contains two objects called text placeholders. A placeholder is a region of a slide reserved for inserting text or graphics. A text placeholder is a placeholder designed for text. Text placeholders usually display text that describes the purpose of the placeholder and instructs you to click so that you can start typing in the placeholder. The larger text placeholder on the title slide is designed to hold the presentation title, and the smaller text placeholder is designed to contain a subtitle. Once you enter text into a text placeholder, it is no longer a placeholder and becomes an object called a text box. Alright, so click anywhere in the Click to Add title box, which is the title text placeholder. The title text placeholder text disappears and the insertion point appears in the box. Type Gourmet Delivered. Alright, click a blank area in the subtitle. The border of the title text placeholder disappears and the text you typed appears in place of the placeholder text. The thumbnail in the Slides tab also contains the text you typed. Click the subtitle, type your first and last name, and then click anywhere on the slide except in the title text box. So, put in your name, and then click outside the text boxes. Okay? After the title slide, you need to add additional slides to the presentation. When you add a new slide, the slide is formatted with a layout, which is a predetermined way of organizing the objects on your slide, including title text and other contents, bulleted lists, photographs, charts, and so forth. PowerPoint provides 9 built-in layouts. All layouts except the blank layout Include placeholders to help you create a presentation. Alright, on page 649 in your book, it tells you your different layouts. You have the title layout, which we've just done, which contains the presentation title and a subtitle. It's usually used as the first slide. Title and content contains either a bulleted list or a graphic in addition to a slide title. Section header contains a section title and text that describes the presentation section. To content, the same as the title and content layout, but with two side-by-side content placeholders, each of which can contain a bulleted list or a graphic. Comparison, the same as the two content layout, but includes text placeholders above the content placeholders to label the content. Title only includes only a title text placeholder for the slide title. Blank does not contain any placeholders. Content with caption contains a content placeholder, a title text placeholder to identify the slide or the content, and a text placeholder to describe the content. Suitable for photographs or other graphics that need an explanation. Picture with captions, similar to the content with caption layout, but with a picture placeholder instead of content placeholder. Slides can include several types of placeholders. The most common, of course, is text and content. A content placeholder is intended to contain the slide content, which can be text or a graphic object such as a table, chart, diagram, picture, clip art, or video. Alright, so now we're going to insert a new slide. On the Home tab in the Slides group, click the New Slide button. A new Okay, it didn't want us to do it from layout. So just click the button and let it add a new slide. Okay. It's a title content layout slide. If you want to change the layout, you can go here and it would let you switch your layout. Okay. But we wanted the title content layout. Also, when you create a new slide, you can do this, and you can pick your layout when it's added instead of just clicking. By default, it'll be a title content layout. In the title text placeholder, type about our company. On the Home tab in the Slides group, click the New Slide button. In the gallery, click the To Content Layout. Okay. Title text on this one would be Contact Us. And then again, we're going to alright, we want to change it back to title content. So at this point you should have 3 slides, all 3 of which have title content, or 2 of which have title content layout. The first one is your title slide. As you work on a presentation, you will need to move from one slide to another. In normal view, you can click a slide thumbnail in the Slides tab to display that slide in the slide pane. Alright, so we want to go back and click Slide 1's thumbnail. Alright, that's the title slide. In the slide pane, drag the scroll box to the bottom of the scroll bar. As you drag, a screen tip appears identifying that the slide will appear when you release the mouse button. Alright, so if we scroll down, that's slide 3. Scroll up, slide 1, slide 2. See how that's coming up? There's slide 2. Alright, so we want to go all the way down to the Contact Us slide. Of course, you can just click over here in the pane as well. whichever's easiest. If you have a lot of slides, it might be easier to scroll. Alright, at the bottom of the scroll bar, click the previous slide button, which moves you back up. So you can move forward through your slides that way too. Okay. Often text on a slide is in the form of bulleted lists to emphasize important points to the audience. Items in a list can appear at different levels. A first level item is a main item in a list. A second level item, sometimes called a sub-item, is the item beneath and indented from the first level item. Usually the font size, the size of the text in sub-items, is smaller than the size used for text in the upper level. A bulleted list is a list of paragraphs. Words, phrases, sentences, or paragraphs with a special symbol such as a dot, dash, circle, box, star, or other character to the left of each paragraph. A bulleted item is one paragraph in a bulleted list. If the symbol to the left of each item in a list is a number, the list is referred to as a numbered list. And if no symbol appears, the list is referred to as an unnumbered list. Alright, so we're going to add a bulleted list. So we're going to go to slide 2 if you're not already on it. In the content placeholder, click the paragraph text area. Type gourmet meals prepared specially for you. Okay? Hit the enter key. A new bullet that is lighter than the first bullet appears. It will darken as soon as you start typing text. Type meals are ready. And then press the enter key. A third bullet is added to the slide. Alright, now we talked about you can have first and second level. So if you change a first level bullet into a sub-item and you change a sub-item into a first level bullet, moving an item to a higher level, such as changing a second level to a first level, is promoting, and moving a first level to a second level is demoting. Okay, so we're going to press the tab key, and that's going to demote that new bullet. Okay, and indent it over. It's going to change the font size, and then we're going to type serving and hit enter. Alright, a second sub-item's created. Heating, and hit enter, and then freezing. And once again, we will hit enter. We're going to promote that fourth item, so hit Shift Tab, and we move back over. And then we're going to put select from a variety of menus. Alright, click a blank area of the slide outside the content text box so that the dashed line disappears. Sometimes you will want to create a new line within a bulleted item without creating a new bullet. This is helpful when you include an address as a bullet item and want to split the address on two lines of the same bullet. Alright, so we're going to go to 3 where we are adding contact information. Click to the right of the bullet in the content placeholder and type phone. Press the Shift Enter key. Alright, the insertion point moves to the next line without creating a new bullet. We can now enter the phone number. Alright, and then press enter to create a new bullet. We can put the address. Again, we're going to hit shift enter. And then press shift enter again. Alright. The address is entered on 2 lines under the address bullet without creating new bullets. Save the presentation at this point. Control S. Okay. You've already named it. And then it says to close the presentation. So you'll go to File and Close. Alright. As you add text to a content placeholder, AutoFit makes adjustments if you add more text than will fit in the placeholder. First, it reduces the spacing between lines, and then it reduces the font size of the text. AutoFit is turned on by default. When you start typing the next bullet, you will see AutoFit adjust the text to make it fit. If AutoFit adjusts the text in a text box, the AutoFit option button appears in the slide pane below and to the left of the placeholder. You can click the AutoFit options button and select an option on the menu to control the way AutoFit works. So we're going to open the data file from the chapter folder that you should have already downloaded from Blackboard. So we're going to open the computer. Alright, so we're going to the chapter 20 folder. We're going to open the expansion PowerPoint. We're going to save it as expansion goals. So do a file save as. Place it where you'll know where it's at, either back in your data folder, on your flash drive, wherever you're saving all this stuff. We're going to put it as expansion goals. Alright, on slide 1, the title slide, add your name for the subtitle. Okay. On slide 2, in the last bulleted item, click after the word available. And then press the enter key. A new bullet appears. Type M. After you type the first character in this new bullet, the line spacing in the text box tightens up slightly and the AutoFit option button appears to the left next to the lower left corner of the text box. Click the AutoFit option button. The AutoFit option menu appears. The default options to AutoFit the text to the placeholder is selected. Click anywhere on the slide to close it. We're going to let that happen. Click anywhere on the slide to close the AutoFit options button menu without changing the selected default. Go back up here to where you started and finish up your typing. We're going to put menus change seasonally. Alright, to complete the bullet, click a blank area of the slide to deselect. Alright, go ahead and save your changes. Alright, plain white slides with a common font often fail to hold an audience's attention. Audiences expect more interesting color themes, fonts, graphics, and other effects. You can easily change the fonts and colors used for the background, title text, body text, accents, and graphics in a presentation, as well as the style used in a presentation by changing the theme. Alright, a theme and its variants are called a theme family. There's many that's built into PowerPoint. So we're going to change the theme. On the ribbon, we're going to click the Design tab. In the Themes group, the first theme displayed in the group is always the currently applied theme. In the Themes group, point to the first theme. Okay. which has an orange highlight around it. A screen tip identifies the theme, which in this case is the office theme. After the currently applied theme, the rest of the available themes are listed. In the themes group, click the More button. The themes gallery opens. Okay. So it's not expanding. To give me more themes. I think it hasn't loaded yet. Alright, so you should have a gallery pop up like what you have on page 655 in Exhibit 20-9. And you can point to several themes that just to get a live preview of what they would look like on your slides. And then using the screen tips to locate the Vapor Trail theme, that's the one they want you to use. See if mine will expand now. Okay, so here are my themes. We want the Vapor Trail theme once you see what some of the other themes will look like as you use them. Alright, so let's scroll down toward the bottom. Vapor Trail, that's it right there. See how it pops up underneath the little screen tips? Alright, so that's the theme they want you to use is Vapor Trail. The design and colors of the slide in the presentation change to those of the Vapor Trail theme. In the variants group, point to each variant to see the live preview. Note that the screen tips are the same as the theme name. So it changes slightly to different variants for Vapor Trail. In the variants group, click the fourth variant. The background and font colors change to match the ones used in this variant. Alright, so now it should look something like what's on my screen or on page 656 in your book, Exhibit 2010. Save your changes. You always save often so that you don't lose your changes. Alright, Outline View displays the outline of the entire presentation in the Outline tab, which is similar to the Slides tab. Slide titles appear at the top level in the outline, and the slide content, that is the bulleted list, are indented below the slide titles. When you view the outline in the Outline tab, you see only the text of the slide titles and the text and content placeholders. You do not see any graphics on the slides or any text that is not in a content placeholder. Alright, so go to View, and then in the Views group, click the Outline View button. Presentation is displayed in Outline View. You can see the outline of the presentation in the Outline tab. Because Slide 2 is displayed in the slide pane, all of the text on Slide 2 is selected. Okay, hang on. Alright, so we select Slide 2, all of our text is selected. Also, your Notes pane appears below the slide pane. In the Outline tab, scroll down to Slide 4. Competition is at the top of the Outline tab. Slide 2 still appears. In the Outline tab, click anywhere on the text in Slide 4. And Slide 4 appears in your slide pane. In the Outline tab, in the first level bullet in Slide 4, click immediately before the word less. Fourth. Okay. And then press the Enter key. A new line is created above the current bulleted item in both the outline and the slide pane, and the last 3 bullet items move down. Press the up arrow. The insertion point moves up to the new line and the bullet appears in the new line. Type advantages. The text you typed appears in the outline tab and in the slide pane. In the outline tab in slide 5, point to the bullet to the left of all organic options. So that the pointer changes to the moving star. Okay. Then click the all organic options bullet and its sub items are selected. On the ribbon, click the Home tab. In the paragraph group, click the Increase List Level button. The selected first level bullet item is demoted. It is indented and becomes a second level bullet, and its sub item becomes a third level. In the outline tab in the slide 5, click the gluten-free bullet to select the entire bullet item. And then decrease list level. It is promoted from a third level to a second level. In the outline tab in slide 4, click the advantages bullet. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, click the decrease list level bullet. Alright, the selected first level bullet item is promoted to a slide title for a new slide 5. And then 3 bullet items below it are now first level bullet items on slide 5. Save your changes. In addition to changing the level of bullet items on slides, you can move bullet items to new positions, or from one slide to another, and you can rearrange the slides themselves. To move bullet items from one position to another, you must work in the outline tab or in the slide pane. To move slides from one position to another, you can work in the slides or outline tab in normal view or in slide sorter view. Slide sorter view displays all the slides in the presentation as thumbnails to provide you with a visual overview of the presentation. Alright, so if slide 5 is not the current slide in the outline tab, click the slide 5 icon so that it's displayed in your slide pane. In the outline tab in the slide 5 content, point to less expensive than eating out bullet so that the pointer changes. Then press and hold the mouse button and then drag the bullet item down until the horizontal line indicating the position of the item you are dragging appears below the Delicious Healthy Meals bullet. Okay. Then pull it down with the horizontal lines below that, and then release your mouse so that the bullet item you dragged is now below Delicious Healthy Meals. Alright. In the slide pane, point to the Delicious Healthy Meals pointer so that it changes, and then drag it up till it becomes the top item in the list. Okay, that's how you move bullet points around. To rearrange slides, in the Outline tab, drag the Slide 6 icon up until the horizontal line indicating the new position of The slide appears just above the slide title for slide 5, which is now Advantages. And then Release, and you now switch them so that move the wrong one. Okay, this one here is supposed to go here. Okay, now that's right. Alright, so now they've swapped places. 6 is now 5 and 5 is now 6. If necessary, you can change the zoom if you need to. Okay, drag the slide 3 thumbnail position down to position in between slide 6 and 7. So you want slide 3. Slide 3. In between 6 and 7. So that it becomes the new 6. Double click the slide 6 thumbnail. The presentation appears in previous view, in this case outline view, with slide 6 in the slide pane. On the status bar, click the normal button. The slide thumbnails appear in the Slides tab, and the Notes pane is now visible below the slide pane. In the Slides tab, click any slide thumbnail so that you can change the zoom of the Slides tab. Otherwise, the slide pane will change zoom instead. Alright, on the ribbon, click the View tab. In the Zoom group, click the Zoom button. And change it to 48%. Okay. And then the Slides tab zooms to 48%. Alright. Look at this in Slide Sorter view. Okay. Again, it's easy to move items around in Slide Sorter view. So we could grab this one and just throw it out here. Okay. Control Z to remove your change. But it's a lot easier to move these in Slide Sorter view. Alright. But save your changes at this point. Now, deleting slides. As you develop a presentation, you will sometimes need to delete a slide. You can delete slides in the Slides and Outline tabs in Normal View and Slide Sorter View. In the Slides tab, we're going to click the Slide 3 thumbnail, which is Competition. In this right click and then delete slide. Slides deleted, and 5-year goals becomes your new slide 3. Okay, save your changes. Go back to normal view for now. Alright. Now, speaker notes. They help the speaker remember what to say when a particular slide appears during the presentation. Use the Notes pane to add and display speaker notes. In Normal View, you can open the Notes pane below the slide pane by clicking the Notes button on the status bar. You can switch to Note Page View to display each slide in the top half of the presentation window and the speaker notes for that slide in the bottom half. Make sure slide 3 is displayed in the slide pane. Click the Notes pane. And we can expand that a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Click the Notes pane and pass out Marketing Plan. Alright. On View tab in the Presentation Views, click Notes page. Slide 3 is displayed in Notes page view. At the bottom of the vertical scroll bar, click the Next Slide button. Slide 4's Advantages appears in the Notes page view. The Notes placeholder appears below the slide because this slide does not have any notes yet. At the bottom of the vertical scroll bar, click the Next Slide button, which is Contact Us. No, okay. Go again. Contact Us. And this slide has a speaker note. On the View tab in the Presentation View group, click the Normal button. Slide 6 appears in the slide pane in Normal View. You can clearly see the speaker note in the Notes pane. On the status bar, click the Notes button. The Notes pane will close. Alright, save everything at this point. Alright, running a slideshow. After you've created and proofed your presentation, you should view it as a slideshow to see how it will appear to your audience. You can do this in Slideshow View and Presenter View. As the presenter, you need to advance the slideshow, which means you need to do something to display the next slide. To advance the slideshow, you can click anywhere on the slide that is currently displayed or use the space bar or arrow keys on your keyboard. Slideshow View displays one slide after another so that each slide fills the entire screen with no toolbars or other window elements visible on the screen. It also displays special effects applied to the text and graphics on each slide or to the slide itself. Alright, so on your Quick Access toolbar, click the Start from Beginning button right here. The slideshow starts from the beginning and slide 1 fills the screen. Click anywhere on the screen to advance the slide. Alright. Slide 2 is now up. Press the space bar. That advances. Press the enter key. That will advance it. Press the left arrow key, which moves you back to 5-year goals. Right arrow key will move you forward. Right click anywhere on the screen and see all slides. Display all slides in the presentation similar to Slide Sorter. Click the Slide 6 thumbnail. It comes up as prominent view. Right click anywhere on the screen on the shortcut menu. Last viewed. The most recently viewed slide prior to the current slide, which was slide 3, reappears. In slideshow view, if you move the pointer on the slide, a faint row of buttons appears in the left corner. You can use these buttons to navigate the slideshow as well. Alright. Move the pointer without clicking to the faint row. You can zoom in on 3/4 of it at a time. Okay. Move pointer to. I'm going to move slides. All right. So again, zoom. View zoom so that part of the slide inside the bright rectangle fills the screen. Point to the lower left corner of the screen, press and hold the mouse button to change the pointer, and then drag up and to the right to pull another part of the zoom and slide into view. So you can scroll around if you've created it huge. Press escape to get out of it. Okay. Move the pointer so you can see the faint row of buttons in the lower left corner again, and you can again advance the slide. Press the right arrow key to advance. The left arrow key will move you back. Click anywhere on the screen. A black screen with a message that is the end of the slideshow will appear if you keep advancing. Okay. Use any method to advance the slideshow that you wanted to. Alright, and of course we can move back. Alright, you can hit escape to go back out of it. Presenter view, which was designed to make it easier to display a slideshow using a second monitor or projector screen, shows the current slide in the left pane, the next slide in the right, and other helpful controls. So, presenter view, display slide 2. On the status bar, click the slideshow button right here. Clicking the button starts the slideshow from the current slide, so slide 2 appears in your slideshow. Right click anywhere and show presenter view. The presentation switches to presenter view. Slide 2, the current slide appears in the left pane. Because there are no speaker notes for this slide, no notes appear in the right pane. Click anywhere on slide 2. The next slide appears. The speaker notes that you added to this slide appear in the right pane. Below the current slide, click the Advantages Next Slide button. Okay. At the top of the screen, click the End Slideshow button. Right up here. Alright. Save everything at this point. Now, adding animation. Animations are special effects applied to an object such as a graphic or a bullet list that make the object move or change. Animations add interest to your slideshow and draw attention to the text or object being animated. Animation effects are grouped into the following 4 types. Entrance, text and objects animated as they appear on the slide. It's one of the most common types used. Emphasis, the appearance of text and objects appear already visible on the slide, change, or the text or object moves in place. Exit, text and objects leave the screen before the slideshow advances to the next slide. Motion paths, text and objects move following a path on a slide. Unless you change behavior, animations are set to start on click, which means when you advance the slideshow, that is when you click the screen or press the spacebar, enter key, right arrow key, and so forth. Alright, adding animations. Make sure slide 2 is the active slide. On the ribbon, click the Animations tab. The animations in the Animations group are grayed out, indicating that they are not available because nothing is selected. In the slide pane, click anywhere on the title text. A dotted line appears around the border of the title text, and the animation in the Animations group are now available. All the animations currently visible in the Animations group are entrance animations. In the Animations group, point to the Fly In animation. The animation previews in the slide pane, and the slide title flies in from the bottom of the page. In the animation group, click the More button. The animation gallery opens. In the emphasis section, click the underline animation. The gallery closes and the animation previews in the slide. An animation sequence icon with the number 1 and it appears next to the upper left corner of the title text box. On the Animations tab in the Preview group, click the Preview button. The emphasis animation is applied to the title slide. On the status bar, click the Slideshow button. Alright, advance the slideshow. The animation is applied. The emphasis underline animation occurs and the slide title is underlined. Right-click a blank area of the slide and click End Show. You can just hit Escape and it ends the show. Alright, animating bulleted list. When you apply an animation to text, it affects all of the text in the text box. So, on slide 2, click anywhere in the bulleted list to choose the text box. On the Animations tab, click the Fly In animation. Each first level bulleted item flies in from the bottom along with its sub-items. The numbered animation sequence icons next to each item indicate the order of animation. On the status bar, click the Slideshow button. And then advance the slideshow. Advance it again. The first bulleted items and its sub-items fly onto the screen. Okay, that's not quite right. Okay. Now then, let's try this again. Now, I messed something up. Let's try this again. If we do this, do that, then we advance it again, and again, and again, and again, to bring all your items in. Alright. Hit the Escape key to get out of your animations. Click anywhere on the bulleted list if it's necessary to activate the bullet list. Okay. In the Animations group, click the Effect Options button. The menu of options that you can change for the selected fly in animation is selected. Click from left. Alright. In the Animations group, let's click the Float In animation. Alright. In the Animation Effects group, click the Effects Options button. The sequence options are the same. Click Float Down. Click the Effects Options button at the bottom of the menu. The 3 sequence options for a bulleted list are listed. Okay. Change it to as one object. Apply the wipe animation. And then change it to from left. Alright. Click the title text and then the effects options. The underlying animation has no effects that you can modify. Press the escape key. Close the menu without making changes. Save what you have so far. Okay. For consistency, you will usually want to apply the same animation to all slides. You can display each slide in the slide pane and repeat the process, or you can use what we call the animation painter to copy the animation from one object to another. So to do this, click anywhere on your bulleted list in slide 2. In the Advanced Animation group, click the Animation Painter button. Move the pointer on to the slide. Let's see. Alright, so select this group, hit my Animation Painter button, click slide 3, and then click anywhere in my bulleted list. Okay, the wipe animation is applied with this effect. In the Animation tab in the Advanced Animations group, double click the Animation Painter, and then slide 4 and slide 5. We'll apply to both of those. Alright, on the Annotations tab, click the button again to deactivate it. Removing an animation, go to slide 2. In the slide pane, click your title text. In the Animations group, we want to go and look for the None option and change it to None and remove that animation. Save your changes. Okay. Transitions is the manner in which the next slide appears on the screen in place of the previous slide. The default is for one slide to disappear and the next slide to immediately appear. We can use transitions to do different effects of how they come in. So we're going to go to our Transitions tab and click the Push transition, and it'll be applied to the current slide. Alright, push. Okay. And you see a preview when you apply it. On the Transitions tab, you can hit the Preview button, which lets you see it again. In the Transitions area, hit the More button for the gallery. Do the Peel Off transition. Alright, and the Transitions is to the slide. Click the Effect Options button. And we're going to do Right. In the transition to the slide, click the Cover transition. In the transition to the Slide Effects group, Cover transition, choose Left. On the Transitions tab in the Timing group, click the Apply to All. Alright, display slide 6. In the Transitions to this slide group, click the More button and then click Switch Transition. Okay, I'm not seeing switch. There it is, right there. Okay. display 4, and then hit the slideshow button. Advance the slide from 4 to 5, and then from 5 to 6. Alright. In the slideshow and save your changes. Adding headers and footers. Of course, a footer is specific text that shows at the foot of the slide. For notes, pages, and handouts, you can add a header text that will appear. So let's, on the ribbon, click the Insert tab. We've done headers and footers in Word and whatnot, so I'm not going to go into great detail about headers and footers. Alright, on the Insert tab in the text group, click the Header Footer button. The dialog box will open. Click the Footer checkbox. In the preview box, the rectangle at the lower left of the slide turns black to indicate that the footer will appear on the slide. Click in the footer box and then type Gourmet Delivered. Click the slide number checkbox. The rectangle at the upper right corner of the preview box will show the slide number. Click the Date Time checkbox. Alright, and if necessary, click the Update Automatically option button. Click the Don't Show on Title Slide checkbox to select it. And then click Apply to All. Alright, so it's on here. Now it should not be on, let's zoom a little bit. Not on your title, but it'll show up on the rest of them. You have your footer, your date time, and your slide number. Okay? Now save everything. Now for note pages and handouts, display slide 2, which I have displayed. Click on the Insert tab, Header Footer, Notes and Handouts. In addition to date time and footer checkboxes, this tab contains a page number checkbox instead of a slide number. Click the Header checkbox. And put in there Business Expansion Plans. Alright, click the Footer checkbox. Presentation to investors. And then click Apply to All. And then save everything again. Reviewing, previewing, and printing. So check and review. Click on the Review tab. And then click in the Spelling group here, Proofing. If there are spelling errors, the spelling dialog box opens. In that case, decide how to handle each instance. Sometimes it is spelled correctly, especially if it's a name and it's just not found in the dictionary. On this name, we're going to click Ignore. Ignore, because it didn't know my name. And then click OK. It's going to display slide 1. On the status bar, click the slideshow. Advance through each slide. And then click Escape. Switch to Slide Sorter View. Set the zoom to 120. And then save the presentation. Alright, displaying the print screen. PowerPoint provides several ways to print slides for your presentation. You can do full page slides, which prints each slide a full size on a separate piece of paper. Speaker notes will not be printed. You have the notes page, which prints each slide as a note page with the slide at the top and the speaker notes below it. Outline prints the text of the presentation as an outline. Handout prints the presentation with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, or 9 slides on a piece of paper. Okay? So we can display slide 1. Go back to normal view. We're going to display slide 1. Click File. Go to Print. Okay. So if we were going to print full page slides, we would print it this way. Alright. And it says print all slides. You can print a selection, print a range, print just the current slide. Full page slides, here we can change it to notes. We can change it to outline. This gives you the preview of what each one would look like. Printing it has handouts, different options for the handouts. Okay, so that gives you an idea. I don't want you to actually print any of this stuff. I just want you to see how you can set it up to print it. Okay, and you can change it from grayscale to color. And 3. Okay, so you can change how it's set up to print. Alright. If there's any questions on this chapter, let me know if you have any problems.